Hello friends and welcome to one of the most amazing places in the world, the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Not a single official excursion will allow you to feel this special, incomparable atmosphere of death, but at the same time living Earth. Not a single photo or video will allow you to feel the emotion that the zone gives on the legal trip. In this season I will try to convey this atmosphere to you at least a little and show you how the trip of real stalkers goes. Arriving at a taxi driver near the perimeter of the zone, we reloaded our things, petted a local cat and went to the place of penetration. Having stopped a kilometer from the checkpoint, we headed to the perimeter of the zone. There are often police ambushes in this place, so when you approach the barbed wire, you need to stop and listen. Safely crossing the perimeter of the zone, we headed towards the only bridge across the river. There are also often police ambushes on it. The only way to bypass this bridge is to ford the river. Therefore, we cross the bridge late at night, when the likelihood of meeting the police here is minimal. In late spring, the water level in the river is very high, so this bridge was the only option for us. We successfully crossed the bridge. By the way, on this side we met two groups of stalkers. On this trip I made a homemade infrared camera and thanks to it I was able to shoot at night in complete darkness. I took an old GoPro, replaced the lens, illuminated it with an infrared flashlight, and that's it. Our task was to reach the village of Zalesye overnight, but a day without sleep, a long road and heavy backpacks exhausted us and we did not reach the village a little.
Красоту, потом делать подъем. Ну типа, что все укради.
I got this with garlic. It turned out perfect.
А? Мало. Все-таки надо запатентировать спирт с конфетой, блядь.
Friends, it's time to introduce our team on this trip. There are only 3 of us this time. Why, I will tell later. You know the members very well. This is Alexander, nicknamed Gagarin, and Alexander, nicknamed Beaver. Beaver, say hello to the audience. Successful penetration should be noted. Beautiful morning, the birds are singing. Why not drink some cognac? Why did I take the glasses? I think that you need to drink culturally even in the zone. Why drink from a bottle when you can drink from glasses? The night part of the journey was difficult. Firstly, at the start, the weight of backpacks is the largest. No matter how we tried to reduce the backpacks, we still got about 25 kilograms for each. We crossed the bridge, did not reach the village a bit and stopped for the night in the forest. As the morning showed, we made the right choice. We slept well, had a good rest. Now we have moved away from the road because a lot of cars have started to drive along the road. Now we will have breakfast and we will lay the further route. This time we have a difficult, interesting and non-standard route. We want to go to the city of Chernobyl, see a cemetery of sunken ships, a ship repair plant and abandoned cement plant, and then follow the secret path to the nuclear power plant. It is to be hoped that the plan will succeed. We are passing by some kind of operating plant or base that you just saw from the drone. We did not try to get there, because despite the fact that today is Saturday, a guard may be sitting there, and when he sees us, he will immediately call the police, and we are caught. Our trip will end at the very beginning, so we decided not to risk it. We still have many interesting places ahead of us, so this risk is not worth it. One of the advantages of a non-standard route is that we can unexpectedly find interesting objects and places in the middle of the forest. We found a staircase that leads up and an artificial mountain. What it could be, I don't know. Let's go up and take a look. It would be cool if it was a bunker. But I doubt it. What are you saying, Beaver? These are sewage treatment plants. It's clear, nevertheless, it is always interesting to look at any places in Chernobyl that you have not seen before. I am going through the woods and suddenly there is a dump of cars. Now I'll come closer. There is a working base nearby, so I will try not to make noise. A tower is visible in the distance. Now I will go out into the glade and show the tower. Skeleton of some car. I try to move quietly, but the dry leaves make a terrible noise under my feet. Here is the Enterprise on the right, and next to it are two large towers, similar to water pressure ones. Now I'll try to zoom in a bit. Here are two towers. Perhaps they once stored water or grain. By the way, we found a place to get water. This is very timely because we have almost no water left. These are the realities of the exclusion zone. You have to collect water anywhere. Tea is in short supply. This is the last bottle, so we drink it a little. Tea with bergamot. Wait, I forgot to get the chocolate. We rested, drank a bottle of cognac, and now when the heat subsided, it's time to go for a walk through the abandoned houses of the village of Zalesye, and when it gets dark we will go towards the city of Chernobyl. We replenished the water supply and the backpack became heavy again. Atmospheric village. The ceiling has dangerously, it could fall at any moment. This was most likely the living room. This is the living room, right? And here's the stove, an integral attribute of any rural house of those times. And here most likely was the warmest room or kitchen. Gagarin, look under your feet, here the nails stick out. This is how the villagers lived in those days. 2 rooms, a kitchen, an entrance hall, a spacious yard and a barn. Such sheds were in almost every house. Here they kept tools, bred chickens and kept livestock. There was a chicken coop. Or some other livestock, but mostly chickens. In general, some animals were definitely here. And here is a cellar for storing, conservation and other products. Guys, look what a big house in the distance. Beaver, I wouldn't be surprised if this is stalker room and house. Look, all the windows are intact, the house is perfectly preserved, says Gagarin. Compared to other houses, this one looks brand new from the outside. Guys, let's make bets before we go inside yet. Whether there is stalker's rooming house here or not. Look, there is a ladder up here, so there is an attic. If desired, there is enough space for an every-night stay. Maybe it's a kid's room. What is interesting in this house is central heating and not from the stove. In those days it was rare in the villages. Baby creeps in such places look particularly creepy. The house was very good by the standards of the time. Guys, look, if you wish, the four of you can safely accommodate for the night, says Gagarin. I'll have to mark this place on the map. In addition, the places are deaf and the police are unlikely to be here. Here's another room, let's see. Here too you can stay overnight. Look, Ukrainian literature, 6th grade school. I wonder what year is the book. USSR? I don't see the year. Zalesye village secondary school. It turned out that each village had its own school. Year 1985. It turns out that the book was published only a year before the accident. Gagarin, I think this is not a house, but a local rural school. Come to think of it, the size of the house really stands out from the rest, and besides we found a school book here. Children's sky? That's funny, I didn't see here when I went in. By the way, good artifact. Sports. The inscription on sky sports. From the way it's made, I think it's homemade. Perhaps it was made right at school in a labor lesson. It was someone's garage. At the time it was a luxury for the village. By the way, I suspect that something is still stored under the ceiling. Friends, do you know what is interesting? All these houses are not on a satellite map. They are simply not visible. When we made the route, we didn't not even know what we would find here at home. Did you call a taxi? Yes, please take me to Chernobyl as soon as possible. Attempt number 2. Come back. In fact, it takes several days to see the whole village, and we only have a few hours. The bear showed me to shut up. He heard something. A car drove past where we had just been. This is police. Most likely it was the police. Hush, guys. They shouldn't have seen us. How did we get out of there in time?
Чувак, это было...
Dude, it was a red Zhiguli with police license plates. Are you sure I didn't have time to see the car? Yes, I saw here clearly, says Gagarin.
100% ментовская машина.
How timely we left the road. If we lingered there for a minute, we might simply not have time to hide, because there is an open field. And it's strange that they were moving very fast. Beaver, maybe it was a scheduled detour? Perhaps, the beaver speaking, or maybe we were noticed somewhere. This time luck was on our side. Let's hope that the zone will continue to be kind to us. To be honest, we relaxed a bit thinking that the police don't happen here. We need to be more careful and make less noise.
Скважина. Должна быть.
Look, it looks like it was a borehole. And interestingly, it is made from car parts.
Возможно, это было что-то типа... Хотя да, возможно, это был рычаг скважины. Вот, качал.
For 35 years it has not rusted, it still works and even the grease remains.
Крестовина кардана, походу, это шеховская какая-то вывеска.
And here is an ordinary chicken coop, which was in almost every house and in every village.
Здесь было.
The traces look like from bullets, but most likely someone just threw stones. The bullet would most likely go right through. Looks like they kept animals here too. This house unfortunately could not withstand the load of time. The roof completely collapsed. See, one outbuilding, second, third. Look at a sofa made of leatherette. In those days not everyone could afford it. I used to have something similar on my bike, but this is something else. See, a mirror here. Looks like an electric razor case. What is this bottle from? Port wine. 17 degrees. Soviet. The year is not visible. Rare bottle. And here we seems to have the remnants of some kind of medicine. Solution. Some kind of solution. Hard to read. Here we can see in what years the settlement of this house was. Because if we look here, on the door we clearly see on 1982. 82nd year, a year before my birthday. It turns out that people settled here just 4 years before the accident. Imagine, after all, they built this house, invested their efforts, money, and just 4 years later they had to leave it. Be careful not to fall into hell. Don't make noise, we can be heard. You make a lot of noise. If the police are nearby, they can hear. Look, here even the batteries are left. Can't be. It was a heat exchanger. Yeah, the state of the house is certainly very deplorable. Look how many rooms there were here. I count 4. In addition to this, there are a lot of other buildings. It was the home of people who were clearly not poor.
Которые могли себе позволить что-то.
We lie in the glass. In general, we started to go for backpacks and they were hidden by the road. We heard the sound of a car and barely managed to hide. The car stopped 100 meters from us and the police are now walking in the area of the house where we just here. I don't know if they're looking for us or something else. In total, we lay motionless for about an hour. A police car drove past us 3 times and a few times the police got out of the car and checked the houses. I think they were looking for us because the places here are untrodden. I don't know how they found out where to look for us, maybe they figured it out by drone or something else. Now we are trying to get away from this village and roads.
Подальше.
Sasha, do you think the police were looking for us? Yes, I'm sure they were looking for us. Most likely we were noticed near their operating enterprise. Do you think they saw a drone? No, not a drone. Apparently we made a noise somewhere. How else to explain that they were looking for us 3 times in those house where we were? The most important thing is that in the end we were not good. I agree. I think they got upset. Now we need to wait until dark and go to the city of Chernobyl, to the cemetery of ships. There were rarely stalkers in this place. We also want to see some other places. I'll switch to the night camera soon. I think we need to make a video about shoes. And Lova company's bill for advertising. The Lova company will send you to fuck, says the beer. I will say on my own that Lova shoes are of course good. I am satisfied with them, but they also have disadvantages. I walked in many American boots and they were all worse than Lova. Belleville, Hayes and other. Beaver says he liked Mendel firm. They got into a dispute. Gagarin says that they are tough and Beaver says that he liked them despite the fact that they are tough. Testing the thermal imager of the beaver. It connects to the phone. Gagarin went to the field. And on the screen we look as it is seen in the field. By the way, it is perfectly visible. Now it will move away from the pillar and it will become even better visible. Look nice. You see Gagarin standing near a pillar. See in the next episode. No, the second time I will not be able to express the first emotion. Why didn't we spend the night here? It's fucking beautiful. Guys, I can't believe I am here. As far as I understand, ships were launched here on these rails. Well, this place doesn't look abandoned. There is a grill, a gazebo is well maintained. Perhaps local fishermen or workers rest here. There is something there, it's a working sawmill. Through thickets, swamps, voices, we still got here. Friends, in the Chernobyl zone there are many cool places besides Pripyat, but for some reason everyone is attracted only by Pripyat.